What is going on, everyone? We are back in our Bears franchise in Madden 17 as we continue our way through the offseason here. Season 3 offseason. We're going to be going through free agency in this episode. We have got some key signings to make. We don't have a lot of holes. We don't have a lot of needs, but we have a couple of spots that we really need to address. We have just under $14 million in cap space, so not a lot of cap space. We saw what happened in the last episode. Some big names that we had to let go that we're going to see here in a second. But here is free agency. Byron Jones at the top, 87 overall, the top-rated player. We got Tyler Lockett, Dan Williams, Shaq Thompson, Matt Ryan is there. This free agency class, not the deepest, not too impressed, which actually makes me feel a little bit okay that we don't have a ton of money to spend because I don't feel like we're missing out on a lot of guys. Wide receiver, you got Lockett and Kevin White at the top. Matthews, Devontae Parker, Jermaine Kearse there. In looking at the wide receivers, this is obviously our number one priority because we did let Kevin White go, but looking through these players, not many names really jumping out. Devontae Parker wouldn't be a bad guy to get. You see Marquise Lee down there. A lot of wide receivers, some pretty good depth at wide receiver, but looking at the roster here, the depth chart, we got Alshon Jeffrey, Tyreek Hill, Daniel Braverman. I want to get Daniel Braverman on the field more, so actually, I have a thought. I think we're just going to stand pat at wide receiver. As you see, Daniel Braverman last year before, or 2017 before his injury, he was having a very, very good year. Last year, he got an injury again and then kind of fell to the wayside with Tyreek Hill playing so well. So obviously, I want to keep both those guys on the field, and I think what we're going to do is not sign any very highly rated wide receiver. We might pick one up later in free agency, but I want those three guys, regardless of their overall. I think we can have success with Daniel Braverman in the slot and Tyreek Hill on the outside. Obviously, Tyreek Hill, with his speed, can line up anywhere. And then we pair that with Higbee and Braid at tight end. We got a very good offensive line. I think the offense is very good as it stands. Now, I am going to put an offer out for a wide receiver because also we have to think about we don't have a lot of cap room. So if I was going to sign a top-tier wide receiver, that would probably use up most of our cap space. So Nelson Aguilar, very, very good ratings here. He will serve hopefully as a nice backup for Alshon Jeffrey or one of those guys, or Tyreek Hill on the outside. Looking at outside linebacker, we got a couple of superstar development left outside linebackers, Bud Dupree and Shaq Thompson. If this was any other season, if we had more cap space, I would make a run at one of these two guys because we do have Pernell McPhee getting older, but we simply don't have the money with other needs to be able to extend an offer to either of these guys. I'm assuming they're both going to make a lot of money in this free agency. Another couple guys are going to be making a lot of money. Tony Lippett and Quentin Rollins, we let both of them go. Actually, they both rejected our offer, and I can see why. They are the top-rated corners by 5 overall. This is a very, very weak cornerback free agency class, so as much as I would love to have Tony Lippett back, he obviously looking to get paid as a top 2 corner, a starting corner, which we cannot give him. He would be our third corner if we were able to re-sign him, and we're going to have to let him go. We did build him up to where he is now, but hopefully he goes to the AFC, so we don't have to worry about him in the NFC, but it looks like Tony Lippett about to be paid a king's ransom as the top-rated corner. We'll have to see. We'll keep an eye on where some of these guys are going. Kevin White, obviously, we're not going to try and re-sign him or get him back. Quentin Rollins, the same thing. So we'll keep an eye on where these guys go. Quentin Rollins already 3 offers, but wanting $5 million a year, again, that's just too much for us to pay for a third corner. We already have Malik Craig, and we obviously have Kyle Fuller, so just a little too pricey for our taste for those two guys. So now looking down a little farther, we got to pick up another corner. We got LaMarcus Joyner here. He's got quick development, some pretty good attributes, 82 zone coverage, 79 man. Acceleration is there. The speed and agility a little bit down, but I think would serve a very good purpose there as that third corner, working in more of a zone situation. Trey Wayne's another guy, and this is actually a surprising name to see out here. He does only have the normal development, but the speed, 95 speed, 93 acceleration, 82 zone, those are the kind of things I'm focusing on. The man coverage could be a little bit better, but you know what? I'm going to take a low ball approach here with Trey Waynes. I'm going to give him a 1-year offer. He wants 3 years at $12 million. I'm going to end up trying to get him for just about $3 million for 1 year. Feel like that might be the lowest risk option, as don't want to necessarily commit 3 years to this guy. So we'll put that offer in. I highly doubt he'll be able to take that one because I'm sure he's going to get some other offers, some better offers. LaMarcus Joyner, I'm going to give an offer to as well. And again, I'm going to lowball here. He only wants a 1-year deal, so we're doing better there. And again, I'm going to make him close to Trey Wayne's $3 million a year. and we'll see if he takes that offer as well. Again, not surprised if neither of them take the offer, considering it's a pretty low offer. Adrian Amos at free safety, already getting some offers, and again, after looking at him closer, I feel comfortable with the move we made not to re-sign him. I think DeAndre Houston-Carson will do just fine at free safety, and considering the only guy higher than Amos would be Byron Jones, who we cannot afford. He wants 6.3. I mean, as good as he would be, as awesome as it would be to have Byron Jones, superstar development, that is just way too much money to pay for him in this free agency period. And another thing we have to think about here, look at the draft picks that we have in the upcoming draft. We have 2 firsts, 4 seconds, a third, a fourth, a fifth. The only thing we don't have is a 6th, and then we finish it out with a 7th. So at this point, I'm kind of thinking with all the pieces we have in the upcoming draft, in our small amount of cap space, that we're probably going to have to fill any needs that we have in the draft, and we should be able to do that with the flexibility of being able to trade up if we need to, trading down. Well, probably not trading down, but trading up, utilizing those second rounders to maybe sneak into the first round to get higher, and then maybe to sneak into the first round again and really get some solid players in that first round of the draft. So we advance. No one is going to take our offer. Kevin White has an offer. He's got 8 offers. The Jets at the top of his list. Tony Lippett has just 1 offer, surprisingly, but it's from the Dolphins, so the Dolphins trying to bring him back. As far as our offers go, no surprise here, as we are not in the first spot for either guy, so looking like that might be a little more difficult to sign them for those offers. We're going to have to offer more money if we want him. Byron Jones signed with the Ravens. Lockett goes to the Jets, who they're in first for Kevin White as well. Dan Williams goes to the Jets. Shaq Thompson to the Dolphins. Matt Ryan goes to the Browns. He replaces the retired Jay Cutler. Dupree signed. Adrian Amos goes to the Browns. Williams goes to the Browns. So the Browns making a splasher. The Ravens, too, they signed Quentin Rollins. So Browns and Ravens doing some work on the first week of free agency. Devontae Parker goes to the Vikings. So already some big names signing. Now the offer for LaMarcus Joyner, I'm going to increase it $500,000, see if that makes a difference. We're still in second. And then Trey Waynes, I'm going to increase the offer here, but honestly, this isn't going to really improve it too much, and I think we're going to end up just rescinding the offer for him. So I go back looking to see who else is available, and I come across this guy, Philip Gaines, former Kansas City Chief, and apparently they did their work trying to upgrade his development because he is now a superstar. I have no idea why, if they did that, they didn't re-sign him. He's only a 76 overall, but he's got some solid, well, he's got 93 speed, acceleration, agility across the board, superstar development. I don't know how we can't pass up the offer. I don't know how he didn't have any other offers until now. But with him now on the board, we're going to rescind the offer to Trey Waynes. I'll keep the one for LaMarcus Joyner on there for now, but that one probably not going to work out either. So we'll advance again. So far, not many offers made, but do we have an accept? No, we don't. We have a reject. LaMarcus Joyner is going to reject our offer, so he signed elsewhere. So now everything falls on Philip Gaines, as this, last week of free agency. We still are the only offer for him, but you can see our offer not very good. And look at this, Kevin White and Tyler Lockett both signed with the Jets. That is a scary tandem there. Dorial Green-Beckham goes to the Lions. Marquise Lee going to go to the Bengals. Crowder goes to the Falcons. Tony Lippett did sign with the Dolphins. He got $41 million, way more than Quentin Rollins. So Tony Lippett got himself paid, which that is nice to see, even though it is a disappointment to see him go. LaMarcus Joyner ends up signing with the Saints, so hopefully we're going to be able to get Philip Gaines. And now Nelson Aguilar, I realized I didn't actually submit the offer to him earlier in free agency, so we're going to do that now. I'm going to give him a 1-year, $1.95 million. Again, I like his attributes. I like his size. I think he can be a nice backup for us. Quarterback, I would like to add a third QB. I know already that the QB class this year is awful. I think there's only like 3 or 4 guys grading out in the draft. But unfortunately, no one really standing out in this free agency class. I thought about giving an offer to Johnny Manziel, but ended up going against that. Now, we do get 2 acceptance. Philip Gaines is going to sign. Nelson Aguilar is going to sign. So all the free agency, we're only going to sign 2 guys. But again, we don't have a lot of money, and we don't have a lot of holes in either side of the team. So that's basically where we're going to stand there with free agency. So the next thing is going to be the NFL draft, and this is going to be maybe the most important draft in this entire franchise. As the team stands now, I think it's a worse team than it was when the season ended. Yes, we just won the Super Bowl. Of course, that team very good, but with all the guys we had to let walk, and then we only made 2 signings in free agency, that means we are going to have to address our big needs in the draft. And because of where we're picking, we're not necessarily going to be able to get that game-changing player at the end of the first round, 4 picks in the second round. That's not where you get those game-changing guys. So we're going to have to have some skill here. Our ability to scout find those good players, figure out what position we want to attack, and then go out and get it done here in the draft. That's going to be coming in the next episode. Should be an exciting one. I don't think we've ever traded up in a draft. We've certainly traded down a lot, but we've never traded up, so should be a fun one. Make sure you don't miss it, but that's it for this episode. If you enjoyed it, please go and give it a like. I'd really appreciate it, and subscribe to see any Fitch videos that I make. As always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.